full and inspirational of the abstract expressionist circle. Many young artists of the period were in awe of his mastery of painting and drawing.
Everybody was working like de Kooning. And I already wasn't painting like them. In fact, they didn't take my work seriously, which made me even friendlier as far as they were concerned, because I in no way could be considered a competitor. So I was no threat.
He raised the kooning. Now, what does he mean by what is that? Do you know?
Well, I love to draw. And as ridiculous as this may seem, I was trying to figure out a way to bring drawing into the all whites. I kept making drawings myself and erasing them. And that just looked like an erased Rauschenberg. Or, you know, I mean, it was nothing. And so I figured out that it had to begin as art. So I thought it's got to be a de Kooning then, if it's going to be an important piece. You see how ridiculously you have to think in order to make this work? And so I bought a bottle of Jack Daniels and went up and knocked on his door and praying the whole time that he wouldn't be home, and then that would be the work. But he was home. And after a few awkward moments, I told him what I had in mind. And he said that he understood me, but that he wasn't for it. And I was hoping then he would refuse, and that would be the work.
I'm shocked. You know, I would expect the kooning to turn on his ugly side.
He couldn't have made me more uncomfortable. He took the painting that he was working on off the easel. I don't even know if he was doing this consciously. And he went over and put it against the already closed door. But I was noticing things like that. And he said, okay, I want it to be something I'll miss. I said, please, doesn't have to be that good. You know, I didn't say that, but that's the way I'm feeling. I kept my mouth shut. And I want to give you something really difficult to erase. I said, thank God. And he gave me something that had charcoal, oil paint, pencil, crayon. And I spent a month erasing that little drawing that's this big. And on the other side is one that isn't erased. The documentation is built in.
I think it was psychological in the sense of what was there for him to do, but challenge the reigning master. Even though he loved de Kooning and thought, you know, he was the greatest living artist. And then, of course, it created this immense scandal. How could you erase this masterpiece? And not only did you presumably take something out of the history of art, but you also defaced property.
They think it was a gesture, protest against abstract expressionism. Because, see, it's a very complicated story. And I don't think most people would think this way. And so it is hard for them to think of that. Or just a pure act of destruction. Vandalism is the other alternative.
And for you?
It's poetry.